Yeah, hello everybody. This is Howard the Teaserking coming to you with week 2 of college football. As I said yesterday, you got a lot more information on some teams now. I'm not sold on Maryland and Penn State because Maryland beat Howard, so you think they're going to score 70 points. So as I was saying, I have a few dogs that I didn't think would be dogs, and I love it. I got a lock out there already. Uh, Playing just two teams, no over under on the lock, but I love some over unders, and I love the lines are just made by morons. I mean, absolutely. You've got some dogs that I didn't think would be dogs. So let's go. Let's go to LSU laying 6 to Texas. Game's in Texas. All right, so let's go through the line. Texas has a very good quarterback, Ellington. You've got to think of Texas as Ohio State. They run the Ohio State offense and defense. Ellinger's now been there a couple years. He's got it down pretty cold. So let's look at Texas as a home dog. Texas 2-0 as a home dog, 7-1 as a road dog. They're 9-1 as a dog. Keep in mind they played Oklahoma twice last year. So playing LSU, you play Oklahoma, you play TCU with a good defense. You've seen the passing of some of these, Baylor's and Texas Tech. So, they're a pretty solid, strong team. LSU as a road favorite is 6-3, 4-7-2 against. That's 17-18. If we just look at last year, the reason I'm doing that is because you've got new coaches, you've got Nebraska. You've got LSU. The first year with this new quarterback was last year. They're 2-1 as a road favorite, 3-0 against. Texas is a home dog, 1-0, 3-0 as a road dog. So they're 4-0 as a dog and 1-3 against. Texas is an outstanding dog. This is just 18 stats with whatever happened last week. Well, let's go to the quarterbacks. So look at LSU's quarterback. All right, Joe Burrow from Ohio State. So they know him. Herman knows the guy. He was good. He was 5-0 against Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern, okay, this is why I say each hand's like a hand of poker. They won at home against Georgia Southern, a really, a good offensive team. They're not a bad team in conference, but they're not a bad team. They can run the ball usually, but LSU had too much speed to stop their option attack. So Burrow does that against a vastly inferior opponent. Let's look at Texas. Sam Ellinger goes for 276, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions against a pretty decent Louisiana Tech team, who's better than, obviously better than Georgia Southern. So now you're asking LSU to go on the road, and they're laying a touchdown. They're laying 6. I get 12 points in Texas at home. I would take that bet even against Oklahoma. So there's really not a lot of stats out there, right? Texas, they score 45, you have up 14, 400, and they threw for 300, and they had a total of 454 offense, which, you never know if they run punts and kickoffs back or you get interceptions deep in the other team. It's a 20-yard drive, but you score, so it's kind of misleading a little bit. It's like time of possession. If there's kickoff returns and the team scores 14 points, how much time of possession they're going to have, but they're up 14-0. Let's look at LSU. So Joe Burrow, and they threw for 350, ran for 122. Didn't really run for that much against Georgia Southern. They more or less passed, but they also had 472. So what you're looking at here is you have an extremely live dog. What was my spread on it? I had LSU -6. That's what I thought the spread should be, but I was hoping it would be because I wanted the dog. I always look at the game without a point spread and I go, Team A is going to win, Team B is going to win, or take the dog. So either there's a clear-cut favorite or it's even. In this game, I think it's even. I think that LSU and Texas, I think it's an even game. I think Texas is at home. Like I said, they play Oklahoma, and they're used to passing teams, and they're good at the run. Now, how strong is LSU's defense? It's always very good, but now you got them on the road, not at home, and Texas is now a home dog, and that's huge. So I just think Texas in this spot, I think everybody's looking at LSU beating Georgia Southern as it was a very, very good game, but they were at home Saturday night against a weak team, and they came out and showed it. Now Texas will see that. But what I like here is Herman is a very strong dog coach. He's very good at being a dog. LSU is a road favorite. We'll see with Burrow. They had Burrow last year, and they weren't, they weren't great as a road favorite. So keep that in mind when you're playing an even. See, so the key is LSU here and Texas here, or is Texas here and LSU there, or are they here? And in Texas, they're here. Okay, maybe Texas gets a little bit of a jump because they're at home. Game should be really even or won. Again, the line makes the betting even, not the game. So is LSU 6 points better than Texas? No. But the way everybody saw LSU and favors the SEC, they're overspread like Notre Dame. Notre Dame's always overspread because they know everybody will bet Notre Dame, whatever the spread is, because they want to bet Notre Dame. So here you have LSU -6. The over-under on the game is 55.5. And my first gut was I liked the over in the game, over 49. When you start doing the score, it's 28-21 is 49. And then the question is, I think Texas is going to score in the 30s here, and LSU will probably, I think it'll be a 60 to 70 point game. Just judging that both teams have good quarterbacks, and I think a good quarterback can beat the defense unless it's Seattle or something in the pros where when they're playing defense, or Ray Lewis and Ed Reed, you're basically here. I think that Texas will score. Let's say they'll get at least in the 50s. I think in the 55 to 49. So I can see like 30 something to 20 something very easily. I think it'll be a very close game. I wouldn't be surprised if Texas wins the game. So that's game one. I have a very live dog. See, I feel comfortable. Texas can lose the game by 10 points and I win. And Texas is good and at home. And again, LSU is really good at home, but they're not at home. Alabama's a good road team. Clemson's a good road team. Those teams, different story. You don't want to really waste your money betting against Alabama too often. But in this, I'm not buying the standings, the ratings, and they beat Georgia Southern, and they're the best team since sliced bread. Oh, they're number 2. Yeah, they played Georgia Southern at home, and this is what you have to realize. Game 2. I love this game. This is a game I dream about getting. Minnesota plays Fresno State. Minnesota's laying 3 points at Fresno. Over under 46. I don't know which way to go. I absolutely love the under, and I absolutely love Fresno State. It was back and forth, which was a better choice. So I watched the USC Fresno State game, and they were 31-23 thrown in the end zone at the end. I did win with them last week, betting Fresno State under, which I always do, and it always wins. But in this case, I got them at home against a weak Minnesota team, Why is Minnesota? I looked at injuries. I don't, I watched the game. The quarterback didn't get injured. They can run the ball. Minnesota barely beats South Dakota State or like a Division II team. They barely beat them, 28-20. So Fresno State goes to SC and only loses by 8, knocking on the door in the last couple of minutes, thrown in the end zone for a tie. So Fresno State did not get blown out at USC. They're not going to get blown out at home by Minnesota. Minnesota will not win this game. Fresno State wins this game maybe by 2 touchdowns. Yeah, at least, let's say at least 10 points. Fresno State is an outstanding team. They have outstanding defense. USC ran a kickoff back for 100 yards against them. And I think there was another punt return, kick return, pretty good. Got them down there. And USC had good receivers, which Minnesota doesn't have. They don't really have a good quarterback. And let's go to the numbers, and this will really make your eyes pop out. So let's go to Minnesota, Big Ten. They win 28-21 against the Division II team. I have them as an under. The Zach Arnestad as the quarterback. They have 300 total yards of offense against South Dakota State or something. Let's look at Arnstad. Arnstad, Minnesota. Where did he go? It's actually not Arnstead. I had Arnstead. Tanner Morgan. I apologize. So let's look at Tanner Morgan. He 13 out of 18 for 176 yards, a touch and an interception. Okay, but not. Are you scared of Tanner Morgan? Then we go to Fresno State in the Mountain West. Georgie Reyna, 19 of 39, 256 yards, 2 touches, and an interception, which was late in the game. Only sacked 3 times against USC at USC. In a big game for USC, trying to come out, they have to win, right? Now let's go to the numbers. Fresno State, you're going to love this one. Fresno State, 24-3 in a teaser, 2017, 2018, and last week. Home dog, only 1-0, 7-2 as a home favorite, 8-0 as a road dog. They're 9-0 as a dog. You got them as a dog. They're 24-3. Let's look at Minnesota. If they're ever favored on the road, they're 0-1 as a road favorite. They're only 5-4 as a home favorite. They're 13-12 in a teaser. 14-11 against in the teaser. So they're not much special. So that's 17 and 18. If we just look at 18, again, Fresno State just last year plus the last week, they're 12-2, 86%. They're not even a home dog. They're 5-1 as a road favorite, which is huge. That tells you the character of the team. I know they lost their quarterback. This other kid looked fine at USC. Not worried. Their defense is a stud. I mean, USC, like I said, they scored on a kickoff return and another large return. But basically, Minnesota doesn't have that. And, again, the key is the game's at Fresno State. If you've ever flown from Michigan to Vegas or New York to Vegas, Chicago to Vegas, you want to play a football game the next day? I mean, you're exhausted from the flight. You got Minnesota flying out to California. So, I mean, that works in our advantage. These West Coast teams always have a huge advantage there. And let's look at Minnesota last year. I mean, they were 8-5 against the numbers, 6-7 against it. 0-1 as the favorite. So, basically, you have a team that doesn't have a lot of offense, doesn't have that great of a defense against Fresno State, who, they can definitely play defense. They got 462 yards against USC, but what I like is 256 passing, 206 running, 462. So they're very balanced. They have very good running backs. Let me see if there's any top ones. I thought there was. No. So that's even better. They have a couple of really, more than one running back. So I had Fresno State as a 7-point favorite in the game, and Minnesota's laying 3. Fresno State at home. What I love about the game is it's called, what I call it is a weak favorite. What's a weak favorite? Well, Minnesota here. Should they really be favored? Are they? They're not Ohio State. They're not Michigan. They're not, even Texas or Oklahoma here. This is freaking Minnesota, and they're going to Fresno State. And I'm scratching my head going, the number's wrong. It's Fresno State's the favorite. Like, how could Minnesota be favored? So I have a weak favorite in Minnesota going to the West Coast, Fresno State, a team that played USC very well, that's very strong at home, very strong against the number, well coached. Quarterback looked fine. They can run the ball. It's revenge because they lost to Minnesota in Minnesota last year by 6 or 7, not by a lot. So this is a revenge game to a point, but that's not really the key. Here is that Minnesota is favored in Fresno. That's what turns the games into a big bet, right? When you got, if Fresno would have been favored by 4 or 5 points, I'd have probably taken Fresno down to +1, +2, or I'd have probably gone under with the game because Fresno State's defense is that strong. You're not going to score a lot of points, which is why I even love to bet more. So what you have here is Minnesota doesn't scare anybody. I mean, so they lay a few points. This is almost like if they went to Michigan State with the great defense and was 3-point favorite. I'd be all over Michigan State in 9. This is exactly the same, except Fresno's got a better offense, same defense. So people don't understand how strong Fresno State's defense is, and they got Tedford, who used to coach at Cal, and he always had great offenses there, but he never had a good defense. Now he's got this fantastic defense, and I love betting strong defenses with a strong enough offense. So here's your second pick. Take this to the bank. Fresno State +9. I mean, it'll go under 52.5, but Fresno State 9 is not going to get blown out. I mean, they're not going to lose the game, first of all. So you got a team that's going to win the game getting points, and in a teaser you're getting 9. I mean, I don't know what else you can ask for. I don't see any injuries. The quarterback looked okay against SC. Remember, they went to SC and only lost by 8, and now they're at home. And as I explained in the Texas LSU game, LSU at home against a weak team versus now LSU on the road playing a strong team. So the spread's screwed up because they think they can't differentiate that they're at home and on the road. Just like here, you got to differentiate. Fresno State is at home and they're a very strong team, great against the number, great defense, and it always takes a couple of weeks. Everybody, the graduation, the new players come up. The quarterback looked fine against SC. He can run. They got a good running attack, good coach. I just think they're a better team than Minnesota, and Minnesota should never be favored here. This is the difference. Had Fresno State been the favorite, I would have probably taken the under. There's a few other games like that this week where they got the wrong team being favored. I don't really get it, but this is why I'll take advantage. So anyway, a nice big lock going in college. Pros are a little bit too early to really lock. There's just not. I mean, you don't know. It's the first week. There's no practice. There's a few preseason games. Like Seattle plays, New England plays, in the preseason, so I have a really good feeling. Seattle, New England, like, yeah, they're who they should be. I don't know Pitt. I don't know. Um, I know KC. I don't know Jacksonville. So there's no. I'm looking for the Fresno State in the pros. I don't see the wrong team favored. Um, Maybe the Jets over Buffalo is the wrong team favored, but again, we'll see. So anyway, there's your games. Take Texas plus 12 at home, home dog. Great coach, great dog. Fresno State at home, getting 9 against a weak Minnesota team. Great coach. Quarterback looks good, great defense. Let them fly to the West Coast. That's this room service. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm more excited about Fresno State because they're playing Minnesota. Texas is still playing LSU, who still has talent, and they could run the game, but normally it goes the other way. The home dog normally runs the route, or in Alabama. Like Alabama routes Duke. Duke doesn't route Alabama. In this case, I don't think Texas can route LSU, but it wouldn't surprise me if they won at home as a dog. And LSU, you can't, are they really that good? And again, they're not at home, and they're not playing Georgia Southern again. Anyway, there's your picks. www.teaserking.com. Had a question last week from one of my friends. He wanted to buy one day, and the way you purchase is it's PayPal, and you go ahead and you pick a package. So let's say you picked 1 week college, $75. You get a password. You go back into the site, you type in the password, you get the picks. But the picks are the whole week. They go Thursday. Well, they basically go Tuesday to Monday night. So later in the year, there's Tuesday games and Wednesdays and Thursdays. But right now, you have Thursday night, and then you go Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So that's what you buy. So I can't sell a day because you're going to get all the picks. I mean, I don't know how to do that. I can give I can give a small discount, but it's unless I just email you the day's games and say, here they are. I suppose I could do that at a little reduced rate, but really most people buy the week and go from there. But if I do offer a special, which I've done, you're not going to find the prices on the site. The prices are set. So if you want to buy, a week and it's $175 for college, $135, and I say, I'll give it to you for $125. You're not going to see the $125. You'll just have to go into PayPal, type in my email, put in $125, and send it, and I'll email you the password instead of the site. But that's all I can do, if I give you a special or anything like that. So anyway, that was I've never heard that one where they wanted to buy a day. And I know all the handicappers sell a game for $35. If you want to buy 3 games, it's $100. And I'm sitting there going, I'm giving you 7, 8 games. I'm giving you 2 for free, but I'm giving you 7 or 8 strong games, and I'm charging you $75 or $100 in the pros. I'm even discounting, if you buy them both, it's $135, and you get the locks with it. So it's not that expensive for the amount of games you're getting. So anyway, there you have it. So good luck, and again, let me know if you have any questions or comments. Just email me and go on www.teaserking.com, and you get my email, and you can just send me a shout or advice on a game. I'll help you a little, but I prefer you to buy my consulting very cheaply, or if you bought the package, then I'm certainly will help you with any game. So I can't just give out free advice nobody would buy, and what's the point then? So if you're a buyer, then certainly I can help you on picks or things like who do you like? Do you like the over under in the game? Who do you like in the game? And I could break it down like I do here. All right, everybody. Well, good luck this weekend. Dallas has signed Elliott, and I told you on the other site, on the pro picks, if they signed him, I would take Dallas. So that's also a game that if you listen to the other video, I'm going to take Dallas with Elliott. In that series, Dallas does own the Giants at home, but it's a close series. All right, everybody. Well, good luck and enjoy the week.